Hello everyone, and welcome to another Imagine Your Story science activity with Mr. Brian. Today we're going to be talking about things that glow in the dark and also ultraviolet light and things that are either phosphorescent or fluorescent. But before we do that, I've got a fun little science craft for us to do today. And as always, if you're wanting to do this science craft, you need to make sure that you're registered for our Imagine Your Story summer reading program, and there will be a link to do so in the description below this video. So today, our little science craft, our little kit comes like this, is going to be a firefly or lightning bug if you prefer. Some of you may enjoy, like I have growing up, going out and catching and releasing the lightning bugs and seeing how that they light up. Let's see what all parts we have in our kit today. You can see this green piece will be the front part of our lightning bug, and it's got a little strip of paper that will peel off here toward the end. We have a little blue chenille stem here. This is going to be what we use for the antenna for our lightning bug. We have a pair of wings. We have another green sticker. This one has the paper on the back that we'll need to be watchful for to peel off the stick. This will be the back of our firefly's head. We have a clothespin that's going to go on the back. And then we have these two jewels. And these little jewels here are going to be what's going to help it behave like a lightning bug. These little jewels will glow in the dark. And you can see that they both have a little dot of paper on the back. So they have glue dots on the back. I will say that if you want this to stick really well to your little lightning bug, you'll need to make sure that you might want to have some stronger glue to add to that. So we've got two here, and the last thing we have in our bag is our instructions, which can always be a useful thing to have. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take our little chenille stem and I'm going to fold it in half. After I fold it in half like this, I'm going to take the top parts and I'm going to curl it over, because these will be the antenna for our little lightning bug. So I'm going to set that down. I'm going to pick up our piece with the paper on it. Here, I'm going to peel off the paper and take the chenille stem, and I'm going to set this on here. You don't want to put it all the way down or you won't get to see what the antennas look like. So we'll try to have that centered. You can see I've put it with the sticky side facing up. Now I'm going to take the body of our firefly or lightning bug, and I'm going to attach the back of this piece to it. You can see I've got this try to line up, so we're going to have the chenille stems sandwiched in between. So we're going to come around and I'm going to push it down real nice and tight around these so they won't fall out. And so that completes the head of our lightning bug. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully peel off the paper off of my little glow in the dark jewels, our little phosphorescent jewels here. So there's the top one, and now I'll do the next one. That one will go in this segment right here. The next thing I'm going to do here on the back is I'm going to carefully peel off this piece of paper. We want to make sure we don't tear it off too hard or it will take the sticky off with it as it goes. Okay. Now this sticky part is going to be what this clothespin is going to stick to. And we're going to stick the clothespin with the open end facing up, because that's where we're going to take the wings. Now we want the wings to where the part that have the designs on them will be facing down. So I'm going to turn this upside down like this, put it inside the open part of my clothespin, then take my clothespin and stick it to the back. Then you can flip this over, and then you can adjust and move the wings to there where you would like them to be for your little lightning bug. Now the last little piece that you'll find that will be in your bag with this, but not in the actual bag with the kit, is there's going to be a little strip magnet here. This little bar magnet. It also has a piece of paper on the back. This is to go on the back of the clothespin. Just like what I said with the jewels could be said about the clothespin and this magnet. You may want to have a stronger type of glue to help hold this all together. But once you add your magnet, this thing is complete and you can stick it on your refrigerator or other magnetic surface. Now, when I said that things are phosphorescent, that means that things can absorb ultraviolet radiation from the sun. Ultraviolet radiation is not something that we can visibly see with our eyes, but it's what, if you're outside on a hot summer day for too long, it's what helps our skin to darken or tan. If you're out in there too long, you can get a bad sunburn. But that can also be used to supercharge our jewels, so when it gets to be dark, then we'll get to see if it's going to glow in the dark. Because something that is phosphorescent absorbs the ultraviolet or absorbs radiation and then gives it off as light over a long period of time. So in our next little segment here, we're going to have the lights off and we'll test and we'll see if this will glow in the dark. And then I have some other materials that I'm going to show you that are also going to be things that will glow or show up really coolly in the dark. So stay tuned for the next part. Okay everyone, as you can see, I've turned out the lights, but I do have my handy dandy flashlight here in order to show you guys. Here is our completed light bulb, lightning bug, and we're going to look and see if indeed it glows in the dark. So I have, just like if I was going to expose this thing to sunlight, I have been shining this flashlight down on the glow in the dark jewels. And so I'm going to turn off the light here and we'll see if we have successful glow. So I'll turn it off here in 3, 2, 1, and hey, check that out. The jewels are glowing, so our lightning bug has lit up. So this shows that this is something that is phosphorescent. It's been supercharged with light radiation and it is giving it off over time as light. Now, I'm going to turn my light back on. And I wanted to show you guys a few other things that look cool and glow in the dark. What I have here is a bottle of tonic water. You can see here with my flashlight, it doesn't really look like much of anything. You can see that the water is all perfectly clear under a normal flashlight. But there's something really special about tonic water. It has a chemical inside of it called quinine. Quinine comes from the bark of the cinchona tree. It is what gives the tonic water its bitter taste. People like to use this if they're having a party. I've seen some people use this to make Jell-O. You may be saying, but Mr. Brian, why would people want to have bitter tasting Jell-O? Well, there's another really cool thing that tonic water does, but I need a different type of flashlight. So let me turn this one off in 3, 2, 1. So, I have another type of flashlight. The flashlight I have here is what's referred to as an ultraviolet flashlight, or you might commonly hear it referred to as a blacklight flashlight. This will show things that are ultraviolet, not things that we could normally see with our own eyes. If I, for example, bring our lightning bug craft back in and I shine this down, since it is an ultraviolet light, it's going to supercharge it. So when I turn this light off in 3, 2, 1, you can see that that gives me a much brighter glow than what I had before. But what we have with this is when I bring in the tonic water, and I'll turn off this light in 3, 2, 1. So I have the tonic water back over here. I've got my blacklight flashlight underneath it. So I'm going to turn it on in 3, 2, 1, and see, isn't that amazing? it glows this brilliant light blue color. And this is why people like to make Jello and other things with it. So whatever flavors that they make, it mixes in with this wonderful tonic water, and all it is just being exposed to this ultraviolet light is what gives this brilliant light blue color. There's nothing else needed or anything like that at all. Now, I do have a few other things I want to show you involving the ultraviolet light. Now, I have a few other items that are glow in the dark here, so let me turn off this light and turn on the normal flashlight to show you guys. So we'll turn it off in 3, 2, 1. Okay, here what I have, as you can see, I have got some little miniature rubber ducks. They're really neat little rubber ducks, but as you can imagine, these are also phosphorescent. These will glow in the dark. And I also have some super bouncy balls, which are always a lot of fun. And these too will glow in the dark. So let me get my black light flashlight and I'll show you what the glow looks like. So I'll turn this off in 3, 2, 1. You can see that these might have the faintest of glow. I don't think you'll be able to see this, but when I turn on the black light flashlight, see how much better this glows? We're almost kind of supercharging our little glow in the dark super bouncy balls here. So I actually have a little cup of these over here that I will bring in to set down so we can supercharge those. And then I also want to show you guys our little glow in the dark ducks. Let me set these down here. And we'll make sure that they have a really good charge, and then I'll turn off my flashlight here in 3, 2, 1. See, that's given us a really good showing of how it glows. And I'll pick up our little ducks here so you can get a better look at them. They do a really cool job of glowing. Unfortunately, these little rubber ducks do not do a really good job of floating. If I put them in water, they float sideways. So at the end of the video, I'll show you what that looks like. So, and I'm going to turn on the normal flashlight again. Now I've talked about phosphorescent, but I want to talk to you guys about fluorescent. If something is fluorescent, that means it will shine up and be really pretty under a black light, but it only shows up and glows under the black light. If you take the black light or ultraviolet source away, then it's just a nice pretty color. It's not something that's going to look all that spectacular. So to show you these items, I'm going to turn the lights back on, and I'll show you those under normal light, then I'll show you those under the black light. So we'll turn off the light here in the next section. Okay, so here are my fluorescent or neon items. First here you can see I have a barrel of Monkey's Game. You can see that this is a very neon pink, and the monkeys inside are a neon green, a neon blue, and of course the neon pink here. So you can see here, no other special glow, it's just these really bright neon colors. The second item I have here that's under just being fluorescent is this is a game of Jenga. This Jenga is a really fun game. If you've not played Jenga, have your parent or guardian look up how to play, or if you don't have one at home, look around online. It can be a really fun game. I will say that it can be rather loud as the tower falls, but you can see, just like with the monkeys, I have 3 different colors, or sort of a neon pink, which is a nice clear piece. We have that also with the blue and also with our green, that this time is really more of a yellow, a neon yellow thing. So, and my last fluorescent item that I have here to show you guys is another game that's a lot of fun to play at home. This happens to be a game of Connect 4. And as you can see, the pieces are neon pink and neon yellow. So again, not any particularly great glow here. The side pieces are kind of the neon green. But let's take a look and see what these things look like in the dark and under the black light. All right, everyone, we've turned the lights off again. So here again is our barrel of monkeys. Just under the normal flashlight, you can see that we don't see anything glowing. I'll pull out some of the little monkeys here. You can see I don't see anything else glowing. Let's see what happens when I turn the light off. Okay, I don't see any glow or anything at all. Now, let's see what will happen. I'll set these aside. Will that be different with the Jenga? Okay, so you can see here, I've got the Jenga tower all stacked up and ready to go. I've got some pieces toward the bottom that are falling. Let's see what happens when I turn the light off on it. As you can see, once again, I do not have any glow. So this also is not what we would consider to be phosphorescent. So lastly, the Connect 4 game. As you can see again, I don't really have any glow. Anything that we're seeing is just from the reflection of this light. It's not actual glow because again, as soon as I turn the light off, you can see I don't see anything. But let's introduce the black light, shall we? Let's start this time with the Jenga tower. So I'm gonna get the Jenga tower and I'm getting it situated here in my hands. I think I've got it. Okay. Here is the Jenga tower. I've turned it down on its side so you guys can get a better look at this. So you can see here, see how these neon colors really glow? They really fluoresce. It really shines to be really nice and bright underneath the ultraviolet light. Now, this was like the fluorescent items. When I turned off this black light, the glow would still be there. But in 3, 2, 1, I turn it off. You can see the glow stops. Since it only glows underneath the ultraviolet light or black light, that is why this thing is fluorescent and not phosphorescent. So let me get our Jenga game out of the way here. And I'll show you guys, I'll bring in here from off camera, or on the corner of the camera, our little barrel of monkeys. So I will close this up, and again, look how cool that looks underneath our black light. It shines up and glows really nicely. You can see our little monkeys also really glow. Let's see if I can get these hooked together. There we go. You can see our monkeys here are all glowing underneath the black light. But again, if I just turn off my black light in 3, 2, 1, the glow goes away. So these again are something that are just fluorescent, not phosphorescent. So they will glow nicely underneath the black light, but they're not going to, unless the light is shining on them, we will not see the glow. And last but not least, here is the Connect 4 game, which again, as you can see, looks really cool with the black light shining on it. But as soon as you turn the black light off, we don't have any glow at all. So I hope you guys had a lot of fun making your little lightning bugs like the one I've got here. I hope you guys have had fun learning about ultraviolet light and the difference between something that is phosphorescent and something that is fluorescent. And as promised, let me move this out of the way. I'll bring some water in and I will show you by getting a couple of my little ducks that, as you can see, the ducks like to float on their side. Now, they do not like to float like normal ducks. Even if you take them and place them in the water, they will turn and they will fall on their side. So I hope you guys have had a lot of fun with all this. Hope you guys will keep reading, and I look forward to seeing all of you guys in the next video.